Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever in the world you're joining us from. This program is part of the American Spaces Strategic and Support Programming. And today's conversation is under our Career Development Series, where we bring experts to share practical knowledge that helps young people prepare for today's evolving job market. So in our last session, we discussed how to get right with remote jobs and how young professionals can begin positioning themselves for global opportunities. And during that session, several questions came up, particularly around which platforms people should use to position themselves for these opportunities. And if you missed that conversation, you can still watch the session on the Mobile Web Ghana YouTube channel where the recording is still available. And today's session builds directly on that discussion. My name is Estella Hildanaman, and I'm the coordinator for American Corner Agoba, and I'll be your moderator for this session. So today we are focusing on the most powerful professional platforms in the world today, which is LinkedIn, and how you can strategically use it to position yourself in the global remote job market. So our facilitator is in the person of Joshua Odoi. Is a software developer with 7+ years of experience and a certified AI master coach. He has built 20+ tech and AI solutions, is a multiple hackathon winner and an ADP list job mentor who has mentored 500+ people across 26 countries. He is currently working at innovation as an innovation lead at Nematics Africa, Trent Afrique, and remotely as a software engineer with UK-based fintech startup Ishango. So Joshua, we are delighted to have you for today. Please take us away.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you, Estella, for such a honorable introduction. I think I'll pick up from, where you introduced me to, and then maybe break the ice a bit, and then say that, hey, everyone watching me, depending on the level of your career you are, whether you are entry level, beginner, or even expert level, take a seat, grab a pen, pay attention. I'm going to share some valuable tips here, and I'll try and let it cover everyone. So don't feel like with that big introduction, it looks like you don't have a chance. Yes, you have a chance if you put into practice a few things that I will share. All right, so I'm just going to get straight into the presentation and then talk you through. We'll talk through some topics. We'll pick up from where we left off on the last conversation, and then we'll look at the question we had the most from everyone. How do I even get the jobs? Where do I even go finding the jobs? Right? We are going to focus on LinkedIn today, though that's not the only platform. That's the platform of choice for today. All right, so if I'm audible, you can hear me loud and clear. You can see what I'm presenting. Maybe Estella, let me hear from you. If that is okay, or a reaction, then I'll jump right in.
Good to go.
Okay.
We're good to go.
All right, I guess that should be fine. Okay, so let's get into it, right? I'll start off by, breaking the ice, or maybe throwing off a wish, or probably a dream, everyone's dream, which is the question of what if there will be a point, or sooner or later, you never had to apply for jobs again, right? You never had to do the traditional application, which is maybe walking away, dropping off your CVs. You never had to always look out for job applications online and quickly go and fill the Google form or whatever application portal they are using and join the long list of others who are also looking for the job, right? What if you get to a point where you don't see anything like, sorry, we regret to inform you, that is one of the dreaded emails a lot of job applicants hate to see, right? What if there's also going to be a time where it wouldn't feel like the moment the slightest job is out there, you feel like you're competing with 1,000 other applicants locally and around the world? Yes, that is possible. In as much as today we are going to look at how to find remote jobs on LinkedIn, I want to throw in and mention that currently, for a lot of people, it feels this way in their job search. They apply a lot, share a lot of CVs, a lot of portfolios, only to get back with, "We regret to inform you," email. Sometimes they don't even hear back from the companies at all. And sometimes even when they see a job, only for them to click the link and say that, "Hey, 100 other people applied," right? But instead, at the end of this call, we are going to flip the conversation into a new dispensation where we say that, all right, instead, now recruiters and those who matter will now come and find you. They will either look for you or take notice of you or find you somewhere, right on LinkedIn. And as individuals find you, opportunities will also be able to find you. So this will be our big goal at the end of this session. So follow along, it's going to be exciting. Right, now let's look at this. What is the truth currently about job hunting, especially because in this presentation, we are taking it from the global remote jobs context, right? The world is global now, right? Realistically, companies are hiring from everywhere. That is a good thing we have in today's day and age, right? Some decades ago, it wasn't so at all. But today we are in a certain dispensation where this is available to us. And in our last call, just like I mentioned, why should we be even excited about the global remote job like accessibility? It's because if locally it is hard to come by the jobs you want, definitely by going on the global space or on global job platforms or global, networking platform, instantly you increase your chances from just a small number of employers or companies to a wide number of people who may need your service, may need your skills, and may be open to working with you. And so if you are tired with looking for this kind of jobs locally, you are frustrated with everything that is there happening, the downsides of looking for these remote jobs locally, then it is a no-brainer that you need to start looking globally. Right now, whenever you start looking for jobs globally, there's always the question on how would you deliver the work? Because in a local job, if you're in Accra and you get a job opening in Accra, you know at least that you are going to go to work in person in Accra. But what if you see a job opening in the UK, in the US, in Europe, or any other country, any other African country? Then the question is, even if I should go through the process and I should be selected, how would I attend that job, or how would I actually participate? So here is where the term remote working comes in, literally to say that henceforth, location is no longer a barrier. So long as you are online, you are on a global platform and you are seen and you can see global opportunities, yes, you can apply, or yes, the companies applying can find you and then they can give you a seat or they can give you a chance to work with them, where you work remotely from your country, from your home, a co-working space, or anywhere that has the most conducive working environment to you. But there is a big problem because in as much as these platforms are global, today we are focusing on LinkedIn. It has millions, if not billions of people, right? And there is the crisscrossing of companies looking for the right employees, yes, and the right talents. And then we have also talents or like working people also looking for these kind of opportunities. Now, the big problem today we want to focus on that most of these talents are not visible, right? The companies who have these vacancies or who have these job openings or who know you can't seem to find you. And it is the truth because considering such a big global platform, you can easily go missing or go invisible, right? So therefore, the problem is not the lack of opportunities at all. We will go to LinkedIn, we'll have a practical session where we'll go to the LinkedIn job portal, and you will see for yourself, there are a lot of jobs on there every now and then. The problem is not the lack of opportunities or jobs or remote jobs at all, but rather is your lack of visibility and a little bit of alignment to their expectation. So we will drill deep into that, and we'll see how you can patch up those holes and then become more visible on the platform. Okay. So to make this relatable, I mean, I'll start off by talking a bit about my story, right? I'm based in Accra, Ghana, right? I have a tech background. I mean, all the way from senior high school, I wanted to do tech. And so I was pretty much focused on that career path. But hey, other case studies have shown that a lot of people have also succeeded in this remote working space, even from backgrounds like customer service, marketing, design, and a whole lot, even administration and a whole lot, right? So I had the remote work dream, right? I just thought that it is right for my future goals, lifestyle goals, that remote work will best suit me, right? But here is the thing. I had no connections globally. I didn't know one person outside the country who even owned the company to say that, hey, give me a slot when there is a vacancy, right? So I started off probably just like you at this point. You may have a remote work dream. You may have a tech background. You may be based right here in Ghana, in any town in Africa. You may even not have any connection at all, right? But you want to work remotely. Now, let's look at what's changed the story, or what went into landing this, right? Fast forward, I had a UK client where I didn't have to apply for any job. I didn't have to post on LinkedIn, and like I wasn't an expert as I am probably now, but I knew my way around tech. But I was starting off like more of like mid-level, right? So what's changed? That is the big question. Though I had this work from a referral, like on LinkedIn, we'll look at what's exactly accounted to that. The simple answer across all the cases for which I've had, remote jobs on LinkedIn particularly, is because I was found, right? Some way, somehow, someone found me credible enough, or maybe worthy enough to be able to handle the vacancy they have or the job they have. Is that okay? Right? Now, though the first few times happened sort of with no particular preparation, so now I realized that it's more of a system than accident, right? And if you also want to find yourself in this situation, it is more of a system than just banking on luck, right? I did a few things, which is number one, optimizing my LinkedIn profile to position myself clearly for the kind of jobs I want to attract. I wanted to attract tech jobs. So there I put in clearly software engineer, I was open to web development. So I put the web development, all of that, right? I put in the labeling, my titling and everything quite straight to the point, right? And position myself clearly to say that when anybody lands on my profile, they are able to see clearly that, hey, this guy can do some tech, he can do some software engineering, and let me see if it is available. Now, over time, I position myself like an expert, right? Because sooner or later, I realized that when companies, aside a few ones that are particularly open to entry levels, when they are looking for people to do a piece of work, and they are looking for those who know their way around stuff, those who don't need a lot of handhold and stuff like that, right? So yeah, I started positioning myself like an expert. So I remember I put in some titles that spoke about my current role. I remember mentioning something like, hey, I'm the head of IT over here, because yes, I had fortunately gotten that role. So like you get a point. Positioning yourself to make to look like, yo, you got a job, like you got this right, and you can deliver on this scale. Now, as a result of that, I mean, through my local networks and even randomly on LinkedIn, I was able to land a few clients, right? Some of which have grown over time into, I mean, valuable clients, and then I'm making some good money from that, right? Yeah. So we'll look at how you too can also go through this process and then position yourself equally, right? Now, depending on who you are or at what stage you are, the agency for which you need this kind of jobs, right? I told you my first early jobs, it wasn't as a result of any direct action, but over time I realized that to keep it coming, I had to put a system in place. And this is a system I would say for beginners, okay, for everybody starting a very simple one. Number one, you need to take control by doing first one thing, start getting into the habit of DMing CEOs directly. I always say that LinkedIn is a place where, thankfully, it is a platform where you can literally see, you can keep in touch, and possibly you can even chat or relate with decision makers of companies directly. It is not like the traditional job search where you go drop your CV at the reception and you just hope that your CV even graduates to who it, HR or who it matters. It's not like any other job application platforms where the job post is out there, you just go do your submission and sit back and hope. But with LinkedIn, if you see a company posting on LinkedIn, it simply means that they have a team or they have workers, and you can find the workers right on LinkedIn. We'll try a few of them. We'll try to do that shortly. Now, by DMing these people directly, you'll be able to land some interviews, right? Because based on what you say in the DM, you say that based on how you introduce yourself, again, I'm talking about the agency. Some people want job like now. Others can afford to wait. Others have a dream company and they are more of like, okay, I want to start a connection, and then whenever you have an opportunity, I'll be happy if you reach out to me. So based on that, you will land interviews, right? Definitely the conversation will start off chatty, exchange of text, but sooner or later, there'll be a need to get on a call. Now that call could be a formal interview or an informal interview, but a quick tip, please take it as an interview, right? When the client, the CEO, any decision maker or any person reaches out and say that, hey, I saw your message, would you like to jump on a quick call? Please take that as an interview. By what I mean by an interview is that show off your best. I mean, we'll talk about that. What do you have to show off in this call, right? And by doing that, as simple as that, I landed clients. I mean, I've landed clients from other countries in Africa, in the US, in the UK, and a few of them dotted around the globe. Note that I didn't go through the traditional application process. I didn't go and fill a form and drop my CV anywhere. It is just a bit of turning luck into a system or into a strategy, right? And being visible with it. Let's move on. So now, I'll break it down against 3 sections, what this framework is about. Number one is you must either learn or have a skill, right? I can't stress that enough. Number two is that you must have proof that you can do this thing that you say you can do, or you can deliver on this job that you say they should give to you. You get it, right? And the third thing is that you should be visible. Creating a profile on LinkedIn is not visibility. You can create a profile and it doesn't mean that you are seen. You may be seen by a close few friends of yours, but there are some actions that puts you right in front of the decision makers, the hiring managers, the recruiters, those that matter in that company or in that role you want to learn. Let's now take a few minutes to talk a bit about the skill. Number one, either learn or build on a marketable skill of yours. Is that okay? Particular emphasis on this skill basis. Why? Because the framework will flop, right? Or your job search, journey would come to a halt, or it may be even confusing, or it may be not be even clear if you don't know exactly what skill you have and what role you even want to get a remote job from. So I may have a wide range of global in-demand skills, right? This is not a call to talk so much about that, but I may have a lot. For instance, I could build websites, I could do software engineering, I could build AI, I could do some consulting, I could do some mentorship, but you have to choose one, okay? One which is most in demand, and then one which you have the best control of, right? That will be the skill you'll be searching, right? Now, after that, you need to build proof that you can deliver. So for instance, if I say I'm a web developer, number one, and I say I want to find web development remote roles too, I must be able to say that, hey, these are some web development gigs, jobs, roles that I have either delivered, occupied, or done before. Do you understand? This can either be in a form of your third-party portfolio. You could have a website with your portfolio, your stuff on there. You could have a GitHub account with your projects on there, or right on LinkedIn. Look at it in the job section. You can build proof of what you have done before in the past, or probably even what you are doing now. I hope that is clear, right? So after you have done these two things, the first one, you realize that it is a decision you have to make. Building proof, the second stage is like it's an action you have to take. Okay, you have to do it. It's a to-do. Without that, you can't get on the call and hope to land your way in a remote job by just saying that, hey, guys, believe in me, or giving them promises. No, it doesn't really work like that in most cases. And then the third point is that now you've got to be visible. But visible where? Visible where your ideal company profiles hang out. So we'll talk about something about ideal company profiles. They are literally, when you decide on what skill you want to get a remote job for, you should be able to at least know a few companies who they look good, they employ for these roles, and have had a few vacancies in the last few months or so, right? And you want to start from there at least, so that you don't go through in yourself like on the, like it's a platform with billions of companies, billions of people, right? So you need to first of all be able to know that where do my ideal companies, what are their pages in the first place? Where do their decision makers hang out? Are their decision makers showing up enough? Are they posting? Are they commenting? Are they hanging out in some groups? Are they putting some articles? Like, are they even holding some events off platform, on platform events? You need to be able to know that and then be visible over there. We'll look at how to do that, right? Now, drilling deep on the scale, oftentimes when you see most of these platforms like LinkedIn and co, you see people showing off more of their degrees, more of their qualifications and stuff like that. Well, it has not worked in most people's case, or it is easier said, right? Because currently everybody can go and say that, hey, I have this degree, I studied at this school, I've graduated with this degree, but that doesn't tell an employer or a company that, hey, you can deliver on the job. So you need to be able to transform that your degree into skills. So you realize on a previous slide where I mentioned that, yeah, I did computer science, right? So if I have a computer science degree, saying I have a computer science degree doesn't get me employed. What are the skills in there that can be useful to these companies? So you could say some things like, okay, I can do digital marketing, I can do copywriting, I can do tech, I can do virtual assistance, I can do designing, okay, I can do customer support. So you need to plaster that around your profiles more than talking about what degree you have and what school you got that from. Is that clear? I have to build it here. Now, then the next thing, talking more about the having your proof. Proof beats potential every single time, right? So promising and asking companies to, or hoping that companies would take a bet on you may not work, but your portfolio may give you a chance, right? So I mentioned that a simple thing can be your GitHub, can be your own small website that contains the things you've done, or even write on the LinkedIn platform. You can list the jobs you've worked and a few other things, right? The whole point is that you want employers to see what you've done more than what you can do. You get a point, right? It is a way of building proof. So you may be asking entry level, beginner level, how do I build this proof? Of course, start by doing some free or low cost work whilst being on campus right after school. Do a few projects, right? Depending on what career path you have chosen. So for me like this, if it is tech, I managed to do a few projects here and there, freelancing or even for free, nicely polish it up, and then I put it on my portfolio, right? So it shows that, hey, I've done this before, and at least it checks the box of this is what I've done, right? So you can also take that part, right? Do a project. It can be an indie project, it can be a personal project, it can be a client project. Just deliver well on your promise and then note it down somewhere or write it somewhere or publish it somewhere or feature it on your website somewhere, right? Or another way you can go about this is to create sample projects. So for instance, if you say you do web development, right? What you can quickly do is that you can maybe pick maybe a niche, like let's say hotels, okay, or maybe companies. And then you say that, okay, I'm going to handpick one or two companies and I'm going to like scaffold some small websites that could suit them. It can be a revamp, it can be an entirely new website as well, like sample ones. So these are projects you may not deliver to the client specifically, but they are just sample projects. If you're a designer, you could say that, hey, let me design an example, let's say ride sharing app, right? If you are a marketer, you could say something like, let me do maybe an audit document, or let me note down some strategies to maybe market a tech project. These are sample ones, right? You can note that down on LinkedIn. There's a way to list it as project and all of that. We'll look at that when we are doing a practical session. Yeah, but the summary of everything is that either based on work you've delivered before or sample projects you've created, make sure you document either the process or the results so that quickly when someone comes across it, they can know that, oh, this is the end goal, or this is what you can deliver to them. There is a truth. If nobody sees you, nobody pays you. It's as simple as that. In working, you could say if nobody sees you, nobody hires you. As simple as that. LinkedIn is a very big platform. You can easily get lost in there, but then it could become your leverage. Again, because of the reasons I gave previously, that on LinkedIn, not only do you see job applications, but you can trace and see the companies, the people behind it, the people who work there, the decision makers, all of that. So that is why it's one of the preferred platforms to go hands-on for remote jobs. Now, another thing to take note, everybody has a profile on LinkedIn, especially if you've created an account, you have a profile, right? Now, how do you turn your profile into some sort of your website or your CV, right? Again, anything you can do on your CV, you can do on your LinkedIn profile. You can list the roles you are open to. You can list your work experience, literally anything you are open to on anything you can go on your CV, you can almost do the same on your LinkedIn profile. And by doing that correctly, right, you will be able to now turn your profile into a visible landing page that will attract opportunities for you. All right. Good. Now, there are some two approaches we'll talk about quickly. We have the inbound and the outbound. Outbound is more of like if you go chasing the job, right? Like actively, right? You need a job now, or you need a particular role. So you say that, hey, I'm going to take matters into my own hands. I'm going to search, I'm going to find, I'm going to chase. And usually, what goes into this strategy is by actively applying for these roles on LinkedIn, then DMing the recruiters, right? Reaching out to these hiring managers proactively, not sitting and hoping that they'll get back to you, right? Then, or asking for referrals. LinkedIn is a big network space. You can ask for referrals. For instance, one of a client I got from LinkedIn was because somebody referred me, right? And maybe it was because I said clearly that, hey, I'm available. I'll be happy if this conversation comes up, the conversation about web development, mobile app development comes up. I'll be happy if you recommend me, right? Now, either you know some people, you can do that clearly in their DMs. Either ways, ask directly, right? You want to start a relation with somebody and say that, hey, this is and this and this and this is what I can do. I'll be happy if you get a spot. Keep me in mind and send it my way or forward it to me or recommend me. Very professional, very straightforward. It works a lot. It makes the process actually simpler. One of the secrets I've found in here is that when you are recommended for a job, you have more chance of landing the job than when you go through the front door. That's the truth, because you cut off some of the bureaucracies and tedious process. And then the last step is to reach out to founders, right? We are talking about decision makers. Mind you, this is slightly different from the recruiters, because some recruiters could be employees of the company. Maybe it's an HR, maybe it's a social media person who has just been asked to put out the job, right? And so reaching out to them helps, but one of the proven ways to get directly to those who matter, who can give you the chance straight away, is to talk to the founders directly, right? And so you can do some drilling deep and then find out from startups, from some corporates, and find out who are the CEOs, who are the C-suite members. And then once you start a conversation with them, they are able to check out your profile and be like, who is this? Let me see. And hopefully you should have worked on your profile. Then they can connect the dots and say that, oh, okay, this is what a person is good at, relates to what they are asking. I can give them a chance. I hope that is very clear. So this is the outbound approach. Now we have the inbound approach too, which has also, fortunately, has worked for me. How do you go about this, right? Inbound is literally where you position yourself such that the opportunities come to you. Okay, you can do this by optimizing your profile, as I mentioned. Let your profile look good. Let your profile send a message. Let it not look boring, but let it look attractive. We'll look at some practical steps to do that. Now, once you optimize your profile, you become discoverable, right? Why do I say become discoverable? In my case, it has happened where a company wanted, let's say, a tech lead, right? And so they go finding for tech leads. And somewhere in my profile, I had an experience with technical leadership, or I either had it in my my title or in my description section or somewhere somehow, and there's like, oh, we are looking for someone for this role, and we came across your profile. So there you see, I was discoverable because I had done some optimization on my profile. Right now, the next step is sharing insights. Practically, what we mean is posting or commenting. Now, here is the thing. LinkedIn is a social platform, okay? Aside consuming all those things you read from people, hey, I've done this, I've landed this role, I have learned this, I have joined this conference, I've joined this program. You can also make such a post. Now, you can position your post in such a way that it shows off what you can do, what you have done, or the authority you have, like it shows that you can deliver. Okay, so posting or commenting really works. There is a case study, like I have a lot of case study for people who have really took this seriously, went on a journey and got massive results from that. They got jobs, they got clients, they built a community, a whole lot of that. It is super. Right. And then the last thing, which is about positioning, it is not enough to just optimize your profile and be posting or commenting. Over time, it is only wise that you narrow down into one specific thing you'll be known for. You remember what I mentioned in positioning yourself as an expert? Yes, this is where it comes in handy. You need to position yourself as the go-to person for ABCD, right? So I want to position myself as the go-to person for AI product development or software engineering or web development or marketing. You get a point. Over time, this is how you can do it. Now, all this encapsulates the inbound. You do this and you could have opportunities knocking on your doors, messages here and there. I've been fortunate to have a few. Most people who have put in this strategy in place have also had even more, and some they can't even choose, right? Some they have to even refer it to others, right? So yes, LinkedIn is the opportunity platform. The truth is that recruiters are searching, always thousands of them. CEOs are actively looking for roles to fill, and we'll look at that shortly. Now, the truth is that they wish to cut the process short to get to the right talent, right? Likewise, talents also wish to cut the process short and then get to these companies. Do you understand? And LinkedIn is just one particular place that makes these two dreams very possible. Okay. Yeah, so this is just a slide on talking specifically about what visibility did. I would like us to jump maybe straight into the practical session. What I want to mention over here is that you may not need more skills. You may not have to be a jack of all trades. You may just have to have one or two that you are very good at. Then you just have to position yourself, be clear on what you want and what you can do for companies who will hire you. Be visible, show up in the right places, make a post, comment, leave a reaction, do something to get you out of your hole, right? And then be deliberate about it, right? It can easily get frustrating. You can easily give up and cry out and say, hey, I've been doing A, B, and C, and it's not been working, right? But it has a lot of proof that if you have a strategy on, okay, I'll list out my ideal companies I want to work with. Okay, I will list out the ideal, the recruiters of these companies, and maybe I'll start a relationship with people working there, and then I'll like you get a point. So put down a strategy. Yeah, we'll talk more about that. Now, I want to break down some myths, right? Especially just as we move into the practical session, I want to break down some myths. People who think that, oh yeah, for what you are saying, you have the experience, I don't have it, so I may not be able to get it. It's not exactly so. Or they'll be like, oh, it looks like you have a lot of connections on LinkedIn, I don't have. And they'll be like, oh, but I'm in Ghana, I see that a lot of people are hiring from US. I'm here to tell you that it is. you can make it work even if this is your situation, right? You can make it work even if you are in more relatable situations like this, right? You just have to shift your belief to know that I'm in Ghana, but I can get and work in global remote roles. I don't have connections, right? But I can create them. I can start creating them now, right? I don't have the experience, but I can build that experience. I can choose a skill. I can do a sample project or deliver a project for someone, document it, and instantly that becomes my experience. Is that okay? So again, to wrap this up, what matters if you really want to land a remote job on LinkedIn? Be clear on the skill you have, okay? Have some proof, evidence that show that you have done some work before and you can do it. And then simply be visible, all right? So let's get practical. But at this point, I'm just going to take a pause so that it's not going to be talking. Stella, if you can hear me, all is well so far. Let me get a reaction or a comment before I move into the practical. Maybe even if there's a question, I'll be happy to take it.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Joshua. This has been really, really insightful. So we have questions in the chat box coming up.
All right.
So we have my boss director, Floristofa is here. She mentioned that it's a really good point. And then she's asking that, is it easy to get a remote job? And the other question is that, is LinkedIn the only platform for remote jobs?
Okay, good. So I'll answer the two questions. So is it easy to get a remote job? The answer may be yes or no, relatively based on a number of factors, based on the kind of job you want, okay, your level of skills, right? So a combination of these three, right? So let's talk about the first one. How the difficulty or the how easy it is to get a remote job will depend on about what role you want. For instance, if there are a lot of roles for developers and you want, let's say, a role in administration or a role in customer care, I mean, it's according to demand, okay? So, I mean, we are in a dispensation where tech roles are growing a lot, but nevertheless, there are other related roles. We'll look at that. But I just want to mention that the role you want would determine the difficulty. Is that okay? Now, then the second thing that would determine the difficulty is how you score on these three things I have here, as simple as that. How you score on your skills, how you score on the proof of these skills, and how visible you are. As like simple, like as simple as that, right? So I hope that answers the first question. Now, for the second question, which is LinkedIn the only place to get a remote job? No, not at all. I mean, you can even get remote jobs from WhatsApp groups, like it has happened, right? You can get remote jobs from Telegram groups, Slack channels, Discord channels. There are specific job platform sites, like a whole lot of good ones. I literally have like a long list of them over there, like where people post job openings and a whole lot. So no, LinkedIn is not the only one. We specifically choose LinkedIn for starters for today because of the advantage LinkedIn gives us, which is you want to use a platform or you want to use a channel or an approach that at least gives you the most chance of success. Okay, and LinkedIn does. And why? Because you are not just dumping your CV, you are actually, there's a platform to relate with humans, right? So if I want to get a job at Mobile Web Ghana, I can find Estella there, I can find Madam herself there, I can find a few people there, and I can start a message, start something. I do get it. It builds some relation of some sort as compared to other platforms, like other dedicated job search platforms that are more of like, you go, you search the openings, you find it, you apply, and you wait. Sometimes you're not here back. Most times you get a sad email. Okay. So I hope those two questions have been answered. Are there any more? All right.
Thank you
Are
so
there any
much.
more?
A response
Yes.
as well. Yes, so just a quick one. Let me just get that question for you. But I wanted to just ask, how does algorithm work on LinkedIn? Uh, yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, we just had asked the question. I just have the perfect person in mind who will be able to answer things relating to algorithms, framework, strategies. Yeah, I'll share an opportunity on our last slide. In terms of how the algorithm works, maybe think less about algorithms and think more about being realistic and being human. Okay. Um, don't leave your job search to an algorithm. Take matters into your own hands and practice there. I think I mentioned about the active one. I can go back to that slide. You can practice the outbound, the active ones, right? Apply for the roles yourself. DM is like message the recruiters directly if you can. Like hang around where they hang around. Ask people for referrals, reach out to these founders, right? When you do this, you leave yourself not to the decision of an algorithm or tech, but you take matters into your own hands. But if you want to put yourself out there to the algorithm, then this is for you, which is the inbound. The algorithm sort of rewards proof of expertise, right? So it wants to see that what you say you are in your title correlates to what you say you have done in your work experience, as well as what you are talking about in your post, in your comments and co. Do you understand? You see the correlation. So that is what I can say about the algorithm. But if you look out there, a lot of people that focus on the algorithms are more of the creators, and those who want to go the inbound way. Okay, so to summarize the answer again, yes, the algorithm heavily rewards expertise. LinkedIn wants to be known for a platform of experts, credible people, right? So anything you can do to show that you are credible, you know your stuff, definitely you get bombed up if you do any of this. I hope that is clear.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so I have tons of questions in the chat box as well. Let me start from the top. Okay, we start from below. We have this from Dazi Emmanuel. He's asking that is it advisable to showcase two technical skills such as customer service and data analytics and post related stuff concurrently on LinkedIn?
Yes. Again, yeah, a common question a lot of people have, multi-skilled people, right? Now you may have reasons for showing that you are multi-skilled. It's because maybe you are genuinely multi-skilled, or probably you want to widen the net for possible jobs that you can take. Is it advisable? I would say that do a bit of adjustments, right? And then show up for each of these skills in what I'll call seasons. Okay. Yeah, show up in season. So you can have, it's because you don't want to go confusing the algorithm, especially depending on what those roles are. I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm a software engineer. Software engineering and marketing are very two different things. But maybe I can do software engineering, but maybe I can also do marketing. And then I'm wondering, I would love a tech role, which is a software engineering role, but I also love a marketing role. So what should I do? Should I like intertwine my profile and the post? I wouldn't advise on that. I would rather say that pick one. That is why at the beginning I mentioned that choose a skill, a marketable in-demand skill. You want to increase your chances fast, right? So choose a marketable in-demand skills and just have a season for it. Okay, I'm going to take the next 1 month to optimize my profile, to talk about my expertise in this skill and be visible relating to this skill. And then maybe after that season, you can switch into the next. Is that okay? So I wouldn't advise, let's say, maybe in your profile, in your header, saying something like, hey, I'm a software engineer, I'm a marketer, I'm a customer service. It looks like jack of all trades. Like we are not sure which of them is your expertise. Is that okay? So group them in sessions, maybe 1 month, 1 month, 3 months, 3 months, something like that. Most likely you will land one of the roles here.
Okay, those are great tips. Thank you. And we also have a question from Christoph K. He said, I've tried landing remote jobs on LinkedIn, but after a lot of application, I think it's difficult to get some here in Ghana as compared to foreign countries. What can you say to that?
All right. Yeah. So change your mindset a bit, right? If I have landed remote jobs, so can you. If more people have landed remote jobs, so can you, right? That is the reason why during this presentation, I'm highlighting more on the strategy. And again, I understand the situation where a lot of people feel frustrated because maybe they are doing something traditionally, they are just applying. If you remember what I touched on the first slide, yeah, over here. Maybe this could be your situation. You are sending endless applications, sharing endless CVs, maybe getting a lot of rejection emails, competing with thousands of other people, right? If this is your situation, then you've got to change, or let's say change your approach or change your strategy. And the recommended strategy is what we have over here. It will be cool to take a look at your profile and tell you even what I think about you if I were to be an employer. Would I even give you a second chance? Or what will I even say to you, right? It is like, because a human being will watch that, right? So I'll say that change your strategy a bit. Choose one skill you are really good at. Build proof on your profile or either an external site. Let your profile show that, yo, I can do this thing, I have done this thing, right? And then take practical, actionable steps to be visible. Post, repost, comment, DM, like show up, get out of your shell, right? And post, right? It's better than just creating a profile and then just starting to apply. Then you may be getting frustrated because it may not be working for you because you are simply not alone. Others are doing that. So you need to add a bit of a juice, a differentiating factor to your strategy. Then I'm very, very, very positive that by doing that, you'll be able to get it. So like, this shouldn't be your limitations at all, right? Apply this strategy, should be fine.
Okay. Yeah, so I think we have some few minutes left, but you can just run us through the LinkedIn profile. Let's have a feel of it, and then we can just wrap up. Thank
Okay,
you.
super. So I'm going to practically let's go through the process, right? If I was like an entry-level person, or I mean whoever I am now, right, and I wanted to land a remote job, of course I'll get on LinkedIn and I'll do a few things. I hope you can see my LinkedIn profile. Let me know if you can.
Yes, we can.
All right, super. So currently my LinkedIn profile is positioned, it's not positioned for a job. I don't need a job now, right? I don't need an extra job now, right? So my profile looks more of like, yeah, I'm selling something, right? But let me just talk you through it. If you land on your LinkedIn profile like this, either you are on a laptop or a mobile phone, your views may be different. But a few things you may want to edit is number one, your profile picture over here. People have said it a lot and I can't stress it, I mean, anymore, that look like a professional formal human being. Please get a nice headshot, show clearly, look approachable, but at the same time, professional, just as you have me over there smiling. Yeah. It simply means that the guy is approachable. Right. Now, the next thing you want to do is that there is a banner section here. Now, depending on how you want to customize your background, if you don't change this, hey, you had not, like, it has nothing, right? But it will be cool to take some time and design a nice banner for yourself and then put it here, stating clearly. For instance, I have a banner that talks about what I'm hoping for. Okay, I'm hoping for tech leadership, freelance, and mentorship. So you see, my banner is sort of like real estate space. Like you better put a big billboard there that says that, hey, this is what I can do. I mean, people have visual beings, right? Now, the next thing you want to do is to tailor this section of your profile. Now, I explained to you why it's important, right? Tailor this section of your profile to, I mean, look like the job you want. So for me, if let's say I want a job, what I'm going to do is to hit edit, scroll all the way down here, and then maybe change this thing up a bit. So maybe I would say, okay, software engineer, maybe tech lead, maybe I'll add something like, hey folks, maybe web developer. Now, what should be in your headline? Now, your headline should contain a lot of things or a lot of keywords that your ideal recruiter will be looking for, right? So some of the keywords for me in my space, it can be software engineer, it can be web developer, it can be like you get a point. So have the keywords over there. Now, why am I saying this? Someone had found me simply because they were looking for a tech lead. And they say, okay, they found a list of profiles. They drill deep into my profile, looked at a number of things. They're like, oh yeah, it sounds good. It looks like you can be able to do that. So guys, throw in some keywords here that relates to the job you are trying to find. Is that clear? Please keep the keywords here. Don't go and put sentences or stuff. Keep that for later on when you have a job and you don't. Okay. Yeah. Now, there are a few things you can adjust, like your current position, where you work currently, select your industry, a few of that, right? Yeah. Then you see that on my profile here. Let me discard this. You see on my profile here, I have what I call a link here, right? This is for people I'm looking for. But for you, you can link this up to maybe your dedicated portfolio page also. For instance, I have a very old portfolio page that still does magic. I mean, based on previous jobs I've done in the past. This is my portfolio page, right? I have done this, maybe you don't have this, or if you have a better one, no worries. But when you land on my portfolio page, most likely you are going to find work for me. Like you are going to create a space for me because I'll show a couple of things that I can do. I have done stuff like that. You get the point, right? So these are projects that I've worked on. So this is literally what I call the proof, building proof. I put some screenshots here. Some people can do this very well. When you scroll down there, I list the companies I've literally worked with, some projects I've done like out of the blue and stuff like that. Yeah. So you can have a profile page, edit it up, keep some testimonials here. But what you want to do is get your link and then put it up over here. So what I can do is probably I'll drop it here, my link over here, and then maybe I change this to like say like what I have done, right? Or something like my portfolio. Is that okay? Right. So once you save that and someone lands on your page, most likely they should see the link there, click it, and then right away go into seeing what you have done. All of this has a very definite way of increasing your chance of getting hired. Right. Now, then you see this sliding section over here. I'll show you how to do that. But this section literally states clearly what you are hoping to work for. So this is my passive way or my inbound ways. I literally want to tell LinkedIn and everyone on LinkedIn that, hey, I'm hoping for software engineering and I mean all of these roles. I'm hoping for that. On site, I'll give it a shot, hybrid, remote, hey, I'm hoping for that. So you also want to go to your profile and make this adjustment. Is that okay? Now, these are the regions I'm open to working from Yeah, you can like go twist up a few of these things. No worries, just do it and you should be fine. Now, who are you hoping to work from? I mean, read the English, right, and choose which of them most relates to you. So yes, if I were you and I wanted a job like actively, right? That's what I'll do. To recap, I'll update my profile picture. If I can do a banner, I'll put one there. I'll edit this, my title and my description section. I'll put a link to my portfolio there if I have one. I'll update this section. Now, if you want to add any section here, literally where to do that is to click on this button, add profile section. Then you can see a lot. Like LinkedIn is really optimized for I mean, this kind of job searching, credibility kind of thing, right? Now, when you scroll down here, of course, take advantage of your about info and say something nice, something convincing, something worth converting about what you can do, what you do currently. If you don't have a job, take advantage and use this space to and talk about what you are currently working on. So maybe you don't have a job, but currently you are in some graduate internship program, or you are doing some internship, or you are trying to build your own product or something. Please write it up here. And again, don't fail to throw in a lot of keywords relating to the role you want. Featured section, most of this works for creators, right? So I'm going to skip this block so that it doesn't give you so much of a pressure and then jump straight to this experience session. Now you want your experience section to show proof, right, of everything you've done or what you are currently doing. Exactly. Right. So that it feels like, yo, this guy is just not a newbie who just popped out of the blue. So take some time, backdate, add a new experience, like add a position where you worked or where you are working, put your title there, like you get what I mean. So build up your profile like this. Let it look realistic, let it look full, like, you know, more like a real serious, I mean, job applicant. Then as you scroll down here, if you have any licenses or certifications, here's the point to link them up. You can literally click this. If you've studied a course on Udemy, Coursera, you've participated in any bootcamp in person, guys, here's the point to add it, say something about it when you got it, and then maybe attach an image, a picture or something that shows that you have learned, you've gone through some processes. Is that okay? Right. So this is what I have there, and I have others. Then now here is where you can put your projects. Again, if you follow what we are doing, by now you should have decided on what role you are open to get in, right? Number one. And then by this point, like everything about your profile should be tailored to that role, please. Right. So here you can start listing off all your projects. So the project I have on my portfolio sites like this, I can list all of them up here by clicking on this plus button. This is I'm using on the web. Depending on your mobile phone, it may look a little different, but it will have the same functionalities. You want to list all the projects you've done here. People do scroll, trust me, right? Now, an important section is the skills point. I'll show you where it matters, right? Update the skills to add as much things as you can do, right? So the person who asked the question on, okay, I'm multi-talented, I can do a number of things. What do I do about that? Yes, you can now add them all up over here, right? As much as you can. They break it down really well. So even take something like software development, they do a breakdown like full stack, back end, front end, and stuff like that, right? So you want to update your skills here as well. It will really, really pay off and then make you visible. Now, if you can ask for recommendation, I have not been too particular about it, but it has worked for a lot of people. Again, it shows credibility, right? So if you can ask for recommendation for either your current job, your previous colleagues, Like literally, you can go through the process and ask for a recommendation here. So this is the first thing that I'll do. I will optimize my profile, number one. Now, the next thing that I'll do is now I will start hunting for these jobs and then go through some strategies. So on LinkedIn here, right, there are plenty strategies to hunt for jobs or job on LinkedIn, right? I'm just going to, because of our interest of time, I'm just going to go straight to some quick tips that's worked for some people, right? If we go to the job section right here on LinkedIn, give it a while to load up. You realize that the first thing it tells you is that it selects some top jobs for you. Now, you may be asking, how did it select this? Do you realize that it's based on your profile, preferences, and activity, like what you've applied for, what you searched for, and what you've saved? So do you realize that the same way it tells you what are the top jobs for you, the same way it tells recruiters what are the top talents or the top applicants? Do you understand? So if you come here and you see some roles here that are really not in alignment with the role you would like to occupy, then literally should tell you that you may be doing something wrong. Something is out of positioning. Is that okay? So you want to tailor it. So at least I'm happy that I can see software engineer remote over here. Super. It shows you your previous jobs here. So LinkedIn will do one work for you, giving you the most recommended one. I'm just going to go ahead and click on it. I mean, if LinkedIn says I'm a top applicant for this, why not, right? I might as well go in there and look at it. Now, here's where I get a slap on the face and I'll be like, bam. Oh, it was posted 1 week ago. Over 100 applicants. Instantly it tells me that, yo, guy, you are not alone in this, right? You are not the only one seeing this. And people have even gone through the process to apply and all of that, right? Things like this puts me off. But of course, before it puts you off so much, of course, read the job description, read the process and stuff like that. So maybe I may shy away from this, but if I really need this, let's say, badly, right? What I can do is that instead of rushing to go ahead and hit on this apply button or stuff like that, so I see this, I want to choose this, right? Because this one, I'm an early applicant. Oh, we have only 9 applicants there. Yeah, super. I'll choose this. Yeah, you want to say something?
Yes, please. I think we left our time. Our time is just
okay.
Yes, please.
All right, super. So I'm just going to we are out of time, but I'm just going to take 5 minutes and wrap this up. What I can do is that maybe have a workshop, more like a working session, and we will practically maybe choose a few of you. We'll practically hunt for some jobs, put our put in some application, and then we'll see. So let me just wrap up quickly, right? Maybe in the interest of time, I'll tell a few of you how to search, because for that session, it will be helpful if you have searched and you found a few jobs you are interested in. Now, how do you search? You realize that when you come up here, you can search by title, skill, and please throw in the keyword. Feel free to say remote, right? Feel free to say developer, right? When it comes to the country, you may want to turn it off at this point, right? And then for now, let's hit search. So you will see that a lot of options comes, okay? For me, some of the tricks I go is that I click on this all filters and then I do a more finite search. Do you get it? There's a lot of things you can do here. That is one of the power of LinkedIn. You can do a more finite search. And there are even some tricks to make sure that you are finding like fresh jobs, right? You can maybe choose this date posted here, and you say that, okay, maybe in the past 24 hours, right? In the past 24 hours, there are a few fresh jobs that have just landed here. Why do I like fresh jobs? Because at least you have the chance that people have not gone ahead of you, or you can start some engagements early before you go join the queue, right? In another session, I'll show you how you can even modify some parameters in this header bar over here to even give you jobs that were posted literally like 30 minutes ago, right? But after you locate such a job, what you want to do is you want to find out people who work there, reach out to these people and have some sort of engagement with them. Is that clear? In the interest of time, I will stop here and again schedule a more practical session, a work session, and pick a few of you and walk you through from optimizing your profile all the way to building proof and all the way to applying using some secret tips and tricks. The last thing I would like to mention before I close off this section is that yeah, we are in time because I mean this weekend and starting actively from next week, we have a 12-day LinkedIn content to client challenge, right? Where we help anybody, right? Depending on whether you are looking for a job, you are looking for a client. We will show you how to grow on LinkedIn, how to position yourself, how to attract opportunities, and how to literally turn small content activities into clients. So what I'll do is that after the session, I'll drop the link in the description of this call down there, and then I'll share it across WhatsApp. Click on it, join the community, and next week, Monday, let's get into it. In 12 days, let's get you a remote job. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Joshua. You always really like enlighten us on so many things. And it looks like every time you have a session with us, we still are looking for more because you leave us with
Yeah.
I don't know if it's intentional, but it looks like we are looking for something. We are looking forward to something else that you will bring on. So I want to thank you once again for taking the time to volunteer to just share your expertise with us on behalf of the participants and myself and the whole team at Mobile Web Ghana. Thank you so much once again. And we also want to thank the participants also for joining. Thank you for joining. Thank you for sharing. And this is live on our platform. So you can share the link with your friends, somebody who really needs this information. You can go about it again. You can read through again. And also we have the links to our evaluation form in the chat, but please do also fill the evaluation form for us. It will help us to serve you better. You can actually have an opportunity to suggest even future topics that you think we can even look into. So please do also fill the chat box, subscribe to the channel, click the notification button so that anytime we have a session like this, you can actually be notified about it. So thank you so much once again. We would want to end here. Thank you once again, Joshua. Do have a great day ahead. Bye.
All right. Thank you, everyone. All the best.
Bye. Bye.